All right, good afternoon, everybody. Okay, we are back with another. Let me just make sure everything's on real quick. Give me 1 second. Okay, we're good. Yes, we are back with another weekly analysis. I feel like this week we should kind of switch it up. Um, I feel like, not feel like, but I think I'm just gonna do analysis on the futures charts this week. Um, and the reason for me doing that is because I had put the Dow Jones Micro E mini futures on my TradingView account last week, and it followed my analysis. Okay. But the other one didn't. And I just thought that was sus. So I was like, okay, well, let's just do the futures this week. If you guys don't know, I trade futures and Forex. So it kind of bothers me that they're going to be that much different. Like, I'll show you. So this was like a zone I had, this line up here, and it like tapped right here in the beginning of the week. Um, Actually, let me just look at this real quick. Okay, so this is it. So do you see the difference? How it came up and then it tapped this zone and then it sold, but it didn't necessarily sweep anything. So I was anticipating price to go up and sweep because it had just realistically just made another equal high here. So I took a buy. It didn't work out. But then I had added this chart. Okay. And look at that. Same trade. Okay. I'll just put this here so everybody can see it. Same trade. And it like hit take profit. Do you see that? This one sold off and then this one hit. So I wasn't really like too bothered about taking a loss because I mean, it's part of the game. But I just thought that was crazy. So I just decided that we should do analysis on the futures charts this week. Um, so yeah, so what's up, Rob? Welcome, welcome.
Damn.
All right. So let's go ahead and start with some prayer, all right? All right, dear Heavenly Father, we come to you today grateful to praise your name that is above all names. You are the just author of our lives who writes in glory and prosperity for your children. We thank you for the purpose and calling that you have given to each of us to day trade. As we analyze, execute, and move in our purpose, may it be only for the glory of the Most High. Father, I pray that each person watching this analysis may know that they are blessed coming in and going out, and that by putting you first, always, all things will be added unto them. May we walk in the blessing and gifts given to us to see and trade the markets in this upcoming week. I pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay. Just some housekeeping. If you're watching this on YouTube, um, if I get quiet or whatever, it's because I'm like actually thinking. So don't freak out. Okay. So we're going to start with the dollar as always. Let's just take a quick look at, what do you call it? Why am I literally blanking? Forex Factory, oh my gosh. We had another good number on the CPI. It's in red, but it's kind of signifying that inflation is starting to move in the downward direction, which that is the goal in order to be able to lower interest rates. So that should send the dollar down eventually and the indices up. I don't care about any of these other countries. Sorry. Okay, that's better. So not that much this upcoming week. All right, cool. So let's just go back to what our analysis on the dollar was. Okay, so our analysis of the dollar, option one was that it would sell into like the fib levels of this order block right here, which it did exactly that. It came into the optimal trade entry levels and then it just started to push up, which is good because we're finally getting some sort of movement here. So yeah, so it looks like the dollar is finally breaking out of this downtrend. So just from the look of it, it does have this area of support right here. So I could see if price wants to continue bullish, it would sell into this price leg to retrace it and then hopefully continue bullish to break out of that downward consolidation that's been doing. Realistically, I and some other people that I trade with have kind of always been having an eye on this area up here. And we had an eye on this area because that's where we wanted it to go to before it sold off when interest rates go back down. So if it can still get there, interest rates are still the same. But if it can get there before they start cutting, that would be cool because that would be an area where the institutions are going to make the most money before they sell off. They're going to get the most premium price before the market starts to turn. So it looks like, with that being said, we finally have broken out of this downward consolidation. So we had a change of character here. We'll mark that. Okay. So I would just say we can move this whole entire. Let's just do this price leg. So in order for price to continue bullish, let's just notate this first. Okay. Okay, so that option one that I just put is gonna look like this. You could, if you wanted to, this is completely up to you. You could like fib this whole leg, which is also absolutely fine. Me personally, I'm just gonna fib this one. Because I know in the back of my head it could come down further, and that's totally fine with me. But I just see that this order block's been mitigated already. There could definitely be like lower time frame stuff down here. I mean, see on the hourly, which I already know that in the back of my head, so that's why I'm just fibbing this one. But you can fib that whole entire price movement, and that's completely fine. But for me, I'm just gonna do this one. So what that option number one would look like is, let's see, it already looks like price broke structure to the downside. So we would get like a move up in Sunday. And that could either be like Sunday's going to consolidate for a bit and then sweep itself, or it could sweep last week's high. But either way, it's going to be like a push up, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday-ish, price should sell into these levels here. We'll just pick the 78 because that's the optimal trade entry. And then it's going to push up to make a new high in this bullish trend that it has created. So you have your low, you have your high, low, high. So we want to see a higher low, and we want to see a higher high. So this was what that option 1 bullish week would look like. Another option that I could see happening, because I do trade liquidity, and that's just what I do, is, let me just look at it, these charts for a second. Hour. I'm just checking for order blocks. So there's an unmitigated 8-hour order block. Like, price could still be bullish, but it could do some sort of like sweep right before heading back up. Like come down here and sweep these relative equal lows and then push up. So this would still be like your Tuesday, Wednesday-ish. That's like a lot of movement, but it can still happen. Or it could come sweep this low and then tap into this order block and fill this imbalance here and then head up. So we'll write that down real quick. Option 1 may happen with a sweep order block. Or okay. So yeah, so this is option 2. This is literally option 1 with just those alternative areas that price could bounce at. So I would just keep that in mind, because sometimes price will like break a low or something and everyone's like, oh no, like now it's reversing, but then they just become liquidity and get swept. So just be mindful of that. You can usually tell if that's happening on by like which days price goes into certain areas. Like I always talk about Tuesday, Wednesday, those are definitely pivotal days. I'm not saying price can't pivot on like a Thursday, it definitely can, but I like to bet my money on Tuesday, London, or excuse me, Tuesday, New York, or Wednesday, London, Wednesday, New York, for price to pivot. If I'm wrong, whatever. But it's definitely always an option, especially if like price wants to make like a huge move to the upside, which it's broken out of this downtrend, right? So like an expansion like this, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you see how before it expanded that crazy, it came down here and it swept this low? So if we were to get a really large expansion, then I wouldn't be surprised if it swept some significant level of liquidity. Same thing here before we had this big expansion up to this new high that it created. What did it do? You see this wick? It came down and swept these lows. So, and this one actually is kind of similar because this is the 8-hour. There is an 8-hour order block right here in the same area. Let me just mark this off for you. Here we go. See, there was an 8-hour order block here. There was imbalances. So price swept the lows, filled imbalances, and tapped to an 8-hour. So you see that here. We have lows that may or may not be swept. We have an imbalance and an order block. So these are definitely areas to watch out for. But so those are the options that I see. Something else that I also see is if we were to get a a bearish week, price could do something like this. Like it could push down Sunday, right? And let me just refib this. We're going to keep these levels here for reference. So if price is still retracing this leg, right? But it wants to do it in a 2-week period, meaning it would retrace 1 week and then the following week it would then expand. We would see something like this. So Sunday would move down and then we would get, I don't know, maybe some sort of consolidation. Maybe it moves down through Monday and goes into the golden zone. And then, I don't know, we get a push up here into this resistance or maybe even a sweep. And then it continues to push down into the OTE. And then this would be like Tuesday, Wednesday right here. And then your week would end like this. But the trend is still bullish, right? So then the following week, then it would start to expand like that. So even though price is bullish, you could still get a bearish week in that bullish trend. So we will just put that in as an option. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the dollar. I always spell retracement wrong, but I can never get it right. I just don't understand. It's still wrong, like whatever. I'm not good at spelling. Okay, this is gonna be so weird. So I'm about to label this what it actually is called. MNQ1. Bro, people that I know that trade futures, when they say these quotient, whatever you want to call them, I literally just like stand there so confused. I'm like, so you mean NASDAQ? Okay. Yeah, I'm so insulted that like literally on this. So like that's so crazy. Because I took this trade, right? I took this trade, but I took it in Forex. And that means that my broker, because the difference between futures and Forex is that the futures, it's all regulated, you know what I'm saying? So this is like the actual price of the index, okay? Whereas Forex, this is the broker's price, okay? That's why it's a bit different. So I blame my broker on that one. Like literally, I blame my broker because it was just the perfect setup. You know what I'm saying? Price came down here and it swept the London lows in the range that I had created in the previous session. It broke out and then it retraced. So I was like, oh, bet it's sweeping. It's going to go up to take out the rest of it. So I took that trade. I was so confident. And then I got stopped out. And I was like, all right, well, whatever. You can't win them all. But then I come down here and the exact same thing happened, right? And it came down here, swept, right? And then it turned around and it did exactly what the heck I was anticipating the Forex chart to do. But no, but no. And I would have traded this in futures as well, but let's see, the time of day that this had happened was 12:31:15. So I have a combine with Top Step. Okay. And their market is different because Forex, you can hold trades for as long as you want. You don't have to close it before market close, whatever. Yeah, there's like a swap fee, but you could still hold it however long you want. Whereas futures, you have to close it out before the market swap because the broker will take you out. And I've heard and been told that sometimes that can result in them taking your funded account. So I didn't enter this trade on futures because it was so close to the time of day. And you literally can see right here how it gapped up. That's the price action that happened between the market closing and the reopening, right? So I wouldn't have been able to take that trade in futures anyway, which is really sucky. But I mean, it's just the name of the game, you know? You need to pick better trades. Next time I'll pick this trade right here at 5:15 in the morning. And I won't have no problems. But yeah, futures, I'm new to futures, so but it's like it's a lot more trustworthy, they say. But I can't even lie. I like Forex better. I feel like I can just like I like lots better than contracts. Contracts are really expensive, A, and B, it's like, excuse me, I can stack like micro lots, you know what I'm saying? To basically I can work backwards. So if I want to risk on a particular trade in Forex, like, I don't know, $63, some random number, but that happens to be like what, 1% of my account. Regardless of how many pips my stop loss is, I'm still going to be able to put in the exact lot size I want. That's going to give me that exact risk, if not like very, very, very like little off of what I want my risk to be, which is $63. Whereas, because you can like literally, you can trade a 0.01 lot. And then if you want to do a little bit more, you can trade a 0.05 lot. You can stack the 0.01s. Whereas futures, you have to trade one contract. you can't trade like a 0.01 contract. And the way that they kind of do it is like I'm on the micro E-mini chart right now. So they have a regular E-mini, they have a micro, and then they have just the regular chart, which that changes the value of your contract a little bit because what do they call them? Points or whatever. They're like they cost different amounts, but it's just not the same. It's just really not. And I feel like I can manage my account like a lot better on Forex. I don't know, but I'm still really new, so I may change. I feel like I like futures better besides like the lots. I don't like the contract way of doing things. It's a lot more expensive. You need a lot more money. Um, so yeah, but it's cool though. I feel like I'm not getting scammed all the time. Anyway, oh yeah, and this chart too. So on we were looking at this order block last week for NASDAQ, and we were anticipating that price would come and tap into this order block. If not the fib levels down here, would at least hit this wick before going up. And it did on the futures chart. It came down and tapped into this wick. But on the NASDAQ versus the dollar, it never even touched this wick, which that honestly threw me off last week because I was like still anticipating for price to come and at least touch this, because that's just how I like to trade. I like to anticipate healthy price action. I'm not going to make my bets on unhealthy price action, you know? So that was tripping me out. And I noticed that at the end of the week too. And I was just like, dude, these brokers are playing games. Like, it's just crazy, honestly. But enough of my talking. Let's do this analysis. Let's look at what our analysis was last week, actually. I felt like my analysis was not strong last week, which is, it is what it is, but okay, so option one definitely played out, but as I just said, price didn't sell into the fib levels. It kind of just, let's go on the NASDAQ chart. Where's Monday? Friday, here we go. So here's Sunday. So it literally just swept its own Sunday open and then it just took off. Whereas on the futures chart, it did the same thing, but so here's Sunday's open. Dude, that's so crazy. When NASDAQ gets like this, when it's like extremely bullish, I feel like you can just wait for Sunday's open to get swept and then you're good. Like if you would have held this all week, that'd be crazy. Okay, but anyway. So NASDAQ, I know a lot of people don't like to trade things when they're up in an all-time high like this. But if you can see from past behavior, when the NASDAQ gets on like bull runs like this, in my opinion, you just have to wait for like a sell side sweep and you get in, and it's still very much tradable. I flipped my personal account in Forex like 4 times, doing that 4 times over. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're going to anticipate that this is still gonna be bullish price action. But we want to see this get retraced. So I've been saying this every week, like we're probably not going to get a full retracement. So typically the indexes and the dollars move in opposition of each other, so that'll be very interesting to see. Not that they can't move in the same direction at the same time, but that typically will give us like lower probability trades, or according to ICT. Because last week that's what it did. I mean, let's see. This was Wednesday. I mean, yeah, so they both moved in the same direction, bullish, last week. So obviously it does happen, but I would just be like, I don't know. This is why I say to wait to trade until like Tuesday, Wednesday, because then you're gonna know for sure, like kind of what the direction is. Because we could get that option number, what did I put? Option number 3 on the dollar, which is still bullish, but it's going to take the whole week to like retrace, which would give us a bearish candle, which could make perfect sense for the NASDAQ to continue to push higher. Or we could get the opposite. We could get option 1 for dollar, which would be a bullish candle for the week. And then maybe it takes NASDAQ all week to retrace, maybe giving us something like this, like here Sunday. And then a retracement. But I feel like when prices in this type of on a bullish run like this, like I just feel like overall it's safest to just wait for like a sell side sweep, literally. But yeah, so this one will be tricky, but we do still have that Dow Jones, which has not made a new high yet. Maybe it won't. It's been pretty weak. But we'll do analysis on that next. I just have a feeling it's going to continue to take off, but we shall see. I can't believe my broker really did that to me this last week. That's insane. That just makes me really feel some type of way. How's that even legal? Like, the price action was identical to the price until I tried to trade it. Like literally, then he changed. Then they changed it. I'm just confused right now. What broker do I even have on there? 8 cap. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. That's insane to me. That's crazy. I don't want to see his win. All right, cool. So that is MNQ1 exclamation. What's this one? MYM1 exclamation. Let me just stare at this one more time. Oh, bullish order block. Okay. All right. Equal lows right here. Yeah, when I'm like actually trading, maybe I'm not doing you guys justice because this is like I would have this marked up when I'm actually trading, but this is like an overall analysis. These equal lows, and this was an order block, which order blocks have been hitting recently. Tuesday, just like this one. So hey, maybe we may get that move. Here's Sunday. Sweep. Tuesday, Wednesday, right? Or just completely move upward. Sayonara, like that. We shall see. All right, Dow Jones. Okay, so I'm gonna mark this high right here because technically we are still bearish so long as this high is not broken out of. So that's like the top of our range here. Last week I said that I wanted to see more sell side liquidity get swept because it sold all the way down into here, and like I don't see, it didn't take out any lows, you know what I'm saying? So I wanted to see like this level get swept or something like that in here. At least this. Um, but so okay, yeah, so this bearish leg right here, this bearish trend is still valid. So we had this level of liquidity up in here. And then I think on the weekly, there is a gap. Oh, yep, right there. So we're going to box this. This is a big imbalance. And I think it's more than an imbalance. I think I was saying like if price was to come down here, it like came up into this inefficiency and like, you know, obviously took its liquidity here and then swept here and then it sold off immediately. This was your market structure shift when it broke this low. And it has yet to come up into any of the displacement that it created to break this low, which would be either in this imbalance here or in this one up here. So my theory was because of the liquidity on the lower time frame at this level right here and that gap on the weekly chart that I just put a box around, that was like my high probability area that price would come to before selling off. But who knows, maybe it won't sell off. However, like I said, this bearish trend is still holding. So let's go ahead and locate our highs and lows in this one. So like whenever you're like looking at your chart and you're not really sure, just always go to like basic price action because there's nothing that beats it. Okay, so it looks like price was able to make a higher low here. So in this trend, we have our low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher highs. And then price came down here and seems to reverse. Okay, so I can't really call this a lower or a higher low yet, excuse me, because a higher high has not been made. But I'm going to suspect that that's what that is for right now. Until it like breaks above here, something like that. So I would just be watching these lows and highs to see what gets broken. So if we get like a bullish breakout towards a new high, well, let's just like, hold on, let's just talk about that sweep I was talking about. So this is my perfect world, what I would like to see happen. So price can come down and sweep a lower level or something. Who knows, maybe it just comes into this area right here because this is now technically trendline liquidity. Okay. So I'm going to get rid of these red marks. The Dow has just been really weak. So it comes up here because these are now all relative equal highs. These two right here and these right here. So maybe it just sweeps that and then sells to get its sell side and then pushes up from here. Or maybe it goes even lower into those levels I was talking about last week and even the weeks before that. But like I said, it has created new internal liquidity here, which could very well be enough for it to continue pushing higher. So I guess that would be option one. Okay, I'm not really gonna like identify what sell side liquidity level. Just because I think all of them are equally as plausible. But that's what this would look like. But I think the key to this would definitely be to like watch your highs and lows here in this uptrend, and then like here as well. So I'm gonna screenshot this real quick. And I would definitely recommend, I haven't done this in a little while, but to go in and research how the stocks are doing in each of these indexes, because clearly the Nasdaq's like soaring through the air, and I bet you it's because of their what was that company called that just split their stock prices in 10? I'm literally blanking on their name. Anyway, there has been a lot of companies on the Nasdaq that are benefiting very much from the wars that are going on right now. So their stock prices are going up. It's a tech index, you know what I'm saying? And we're getting a lot of positive earnings for a lot of big tech companies Nvidia, that's what it's called. Like Nvidia, for example. So obviously there's things that are encouraging the Nasdaq to soar high. On the Dow Jones, I don't trade it as much, but I do need to go and do some research on how the main companies in this index are doing. Which, in full transparency, I haven't done that in a while. So if you're watching this, I would definitely recommend that you do that on your own to better understand why this index has been moving so weak in comparison to the Nasdaq. So that's homework. Okay, I would say another option on this is for price to like literally just break out of here and bounce like that, which would be cool. So I guess this would be like bearish, maybe. I don't know. I'm not even gonna put a label on it at that point because this chart is literally just bouncing in between liquidity right now, and it's really not going anywhere. So okay. So there's another index I have on here that I haven't done an analysis on in a hot minute, but I looked at it the other day and I was just like, bro, look at this move that I completely missed out on. Like it came up here, swept this liquidity, this high, and then just tanked. Like that was such a good move. And let me just look at the previous week. Like it literally retraced this bearish candle, sweeping those highs that I just pointed out. And then it just sold off. Guess what day it sold off on? Yeah, you guessed it. Wednesday, New York session, which is the day that's my pivot, the one I anticipate. So I was like, dang, I haven't been paying attention. But yeah, that was a good one. That was a good move for sure. S&P, this is definitely a bearish flag. I just feel like it's just going to keep going. But all right, yeah, so that was basically the analysis for the futures charts, which obviously this can still be applied to the Forex charts as well. But on the micro time frames, like the hourly and things like that, there are going to be differences in the actual delivery of price. But yeah, other than that, thank you guys for watching. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Join our group, Regnum Exchange. We're on Discord. We're trading every week. And we'd love to have you in it. Do you have any questions, Rob?
Um, Not really right now. I just got a comment that I'm looking to futures a little bit more because it looks real interesting. So I'm gonna check it out some more.
Yeah, it's a regulated market in comparison to Forex. So there's a lot of benefits to that for sure. And you can trade for futures through TradingView, which is dope because you can't do that with Forex. I mean, you can, but it has to be like a certain broker.
Okay, cool. Yeah, okay, because actually that's a question I was gonna ask if you know what type of broker I can use, but all right, that's a cool one. I'll straight to trading view.
Yeah, you mean a broker for Forex or for futures?
Features.
I use Tradeovate. So
Okay.
I can put that in the Discord chat just so you have it.
Yeah, please. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. All right, cool. All right, everybody. Well, you have a blessed week, and I will see you next week.
Yeah, have a good day.
Thank you too.